so many ways to fall.
And where the hell did they come from?
Calm down. Lock it up. Gas. Those doors look like they... Dropped my gun on the bridge. Stop! Stop!
You keep firing at that impact glass?
In his job, it's been...
Ask yourself what you want more.
Guys all over the bridge. It's my show.
You did everything. Just go. We're both gonna die. Just go.
Hey guys, today we're diving headfirst into the adrenaline-fueled world of Armor 2024, a movie that proves sometimes the biggest threat isn't just a supersuit, but the guy who designed it. We're talking about a narrative that hits harder than a titanium-plated fist, loaded with enough explosions and close-quarters combat to make your eardrums tap dance. This is a passion project for me, and a like or a subscribe is the best way to show your support. So if you're on board, join the crew. If not, thanks for watching anyway. Our story kicks off with Jake, a man whose quiet life in a dusty garage is less retirement and more hiding from the world. The serene silence of a top-secret research facility. Project Chimera is violently ripped apart, The harsh thump of breaching charges echoes through the sterile corridors, followed by the shattering crash of reinforced glass. Masked figures, moving with the eerie precision of well-oiled machines, rappel down from the ceiling. Laser grids sizzle and pop, giving way under specialized cutting tools. It's less an infiltration, more an aggressive takeover, leaving no doubt that these guys aren't just looking for a coffee machine. Deep within the lab's core, bathed in the cool glow of emergency lights, sits the prize, the Ares prototype armor. It's a marvel of engineering, all sharp angles and gleaming composite materials practically humming with contained power. The mercenaries use a specialized grapple, its clanking metal hooks securing the suit with practiced ease. The whirring of winches indicates the suit is being lifted, its sheer weight evident in the strained groaning of the equipment. This isn't just some fancy gadget. It's a game changer, and it's about to change hands. A flurry of shouts, the bang of gunfire, and the zing of energy bolts erupt as the facility's security team finally engages the intruders. It's a desperate, frantic skirmish. The guards' standard-issue firearms sounding almost like toys against the mercenaries' heavy-caliber suppressed weaponry. The thud of bodies hitting the floor becomes a grim rhythm. These guys are outmatched, outgunned, and slowly but surely being systematically eliminated. The air crackles with spent energy and the metallic scent of cordite. It's a slaughter, not a fight. With the Ares suit secured, the mercenaries make their slick exit. The whump, whump, whump of a heavy assault helicopter cuts through the night sky, settling onto the facility's compromised landing pad. The suit is loaded. The remaining personnel are extracted, and with a final, defiant roar of its engines, the chopper lifts off, disappearing into the pre-dawn darkness. The silence that falls afterwards is deafening, punctuated only by the distant wail of emergency sirens. Someone just lost something very, very valuable. The next morning, the peaceful clink of Jake's tools against metal is broken by the arrival of Agent Miller, a woman whose suit is as sharp as her gaze. She lays out the grim details. The Ares armor, a prototype designed for specific, highly classified situations, is gone. Her voice is calm, but the urgency in her eyes is palpable. She wants Jake back, citing his unique expertise with the Project Chimera tech. Jake, however, is having none of it. His silence is a shield, his refusal a stubborn brick wall. The past is the past, and he's done with it. Miller, undeterred by Jake's stoic refusal, activates a holographic display, the soft whir of the projector filling the garage. Before them, a gleaming, translucent image of the Ares armor materializes, then peels open to reveal its internal mechanisms. She details its offensive capabilities, advanced weaponry, near impenetrable defenses, and worst of all, a tactical nuclear deterrent system. The beep and boop of the system indicating its active status send a chill down Jake's spine. This isn't just a suit. It's a mobile doomsday device, and it's why he's the only one who can deactivate it. The weight of the world, or at least a big chunk of it, just landed on his shoulders whether he likes it or not. The silent standoff stretches, thick with unspoken accusations and the heavy weight of responsibility. Finally, with a heavy sigh that seems to carry years of weariness, Jake gives a slow, grudging nod. It's not enthusiasm, it's resignation. He's been pulled back into the fray. The past he tried to bury resurfacing like a stubborn zombie. Miller, a flicker of relief crossing her features, hands him a secure data chip, its cool, smooth surface a stark contrast to the gritty grease of his garage. The click as it slots into his old terminal is the sound of his new, unwanted mission beginning. Time to put on his big boy pants, I guess. Their first lead takes them to a place that smells of stale beer, sweat, and desperation, an underground fight club. The thump, thump, thump of bass music reverberates through the concrete floor, mixing with the roar of the crowd and the dull thud of fists meeting flesh. Neon lights flicker erratically, painting the grimy scene in lurid blues and reds. Jake, looking completely out of place in his practical gear, scans the shadowy faces. A veteran trying to find a needle in a haystack of delinquents and wannabe tough guys. Miller, ever the professional, maintains a cool, observational stance, taking in the chaos. Jake, using his own brand of intimidation, corners a twitchy informant in a damp, graffiti-scarred alley behind the club. The informant's voice is a nervous whisper, punctuated by the distant thud of the bass. Just as he's about to spill, a squad of burly bodyguards descends, their heavy boots clanking on the wet pavement. Jake, ever prepared, moves with brutal efficiency. The crack of a fist connecting with a jaw, the grunt of exertion, the sickening snap of a joint. It's a whirlwind of calculated violence, Jake a blur of motion, disarming and disabling with chilling precision. Miller, covering his back, uses a taser with a satisfying crackle. Once the dust settles, or rather, once the last thug is rendered unconscious with a final, satisfying thump, Jake retrieves a small, encrypted data chip from the now very cooperative informant. The tiny indicator light on the chip blinks rapidly, a silent beacon of progress. The hiss of the data being transferred to his wrist-mounted comms confirms their success. This little piece of tech is their golden ticket, pointing them towards the next waypoint in their high-stakes scavenger hunt. Miller allows a small, almost imperceptible smirk. First blood goes to them. Back in a cramped, temporary safe house, bathed in the cool hum of their portable tech, Jake and Miller upload the chip's data. A digital map unfurls across a large monitor, and a single glowing red dot appears, pulsing steadily. It moves, slowly but surely, across a desolate industrial landscape, a labyrinth of abandoned factories and decaying warehouses. The click of Jake's fingers on the keyboard as he zooms in reveals the target, an old, forgotten steel mill. It's exactly the kind of place where you'd hide a superweapon, far from prying eyes and noisy neighbors. Or maybe it's just where they keep the artisanal rust. Under the cloak of a moonless night, Jake and Miller begin their infiltration of the sprawling, derelict steel mill. The wind whistles through broken windows, creating an unsettling symphony of creaks and groans. Jake, a shadow among shadows, rappels silently down a grimy wall, his specialized gear making nary a sound as his boots land with a soft thud on the dusty floor. Miller, providing overwatch, scans the perimeter with thermal optics, the faint hiss of her comms the only sound she makes. It's a ghost town, but a very dangerous one, filled with echoes of heavy machinery and the lingering scent of rust. Deep within the rusted skeleton of the mill, the ominous clank of heavy footsteps signals trouble. From the murky shadows emerges a hulking figure, clad in a stripped-down, brutalist version of the Ares armor. Its optical sensors glow with an unsettling red light, like an angry robot cyclops. This isn't the prototype they're after, but it's close enough to be terrifying. The whir of servos and the heavy thud of its armored boots on metal grating announce its presence. Jake, momentarily stunned by the sheer bulk and power, quickly realizes he's no longer dealing with simple thugs. This is a whole new league of problem. The fight that ensues is a bone-rattling symphony of force and deflection. The armored mercenary moves with surprising speed despite its bulk, each punch a potential killing blow. The metallic clang of Jake's defensive blocks against the armor's gauntlets reverberates through the cavernous space. Jake dodges a crushing blow, the impact of the armored fist shaking the very concrete beneath his feet. He uses the environment, the scrape of metal against metal as he shoves a discarded beam into its path, anything to gain an advantage. It's less a dance, more a frantic scramble for survival against a walking tank. This thing hits like a freight train, and Jake is just a guy with some really good moves. Jake, using his deep knowledge of combat mechanics and a healthy dose of desperation, realizes he can't punch his way through this thing. Instead, he focuses on what he knows about armor design. Every suit has a seam. He spots a small, almost imperceptible joint weakness, a legacy from his own design work. With a precision strike, he targets the unguarded hinge with a tactical knife. The screech of metal against metal and a shower of bright sparks erupt as the blade finds its mark, causing the suit to momentarily seize up, its red optics flickering erratically. Sometimes, the little guy wins by knowing where to jab. The damage to the proto-suit's joint causes a cascade failure in its localized power grid, triggering an unstable reaction within the already decaying structure of the mill. The groan of stressed metal, the crash of falling debris, and the rumble of the ground beneath their feet signal an impending collapse. Jake grabs Miller and they sprint, the rhythmic thud of their feet pounding on the metal walkways. They dive through a rapidly collapsing tunnel, a shower of dust and rocks raining down, the crack of breaking concrete echoing behind them. It's a very dramatic way to end a first date. Once outside, breathing in the cold night air, Jake examines a jagged fragment of the damaged proto-armor he managed to tear off during his escape. The material is far more advanced than anything he anticipated, far beyond what should be publicly available. The cold weight of the metal in his hand is a stark reminder of the sheer power they're up against. He finally understands. This isn't just about retrieval, it's about survival against a superior force. The easy cynicism starts to fade, replaced by a grim resolve. His old gear, while good, won't cut it. It's time for an upgrade, or as the kids say, get good. Jake knows who to call when you need some serious hardware. He tracks down his old mentor, a brilliant but delightfully eccentric tech guru named Elias, who resides in a workshop that looks like a mad scientist's garage sale. The whir of complex machinery, the hiss of soldering irons, and the clinking of gears fill the air. Elias, with grease smudges on his glasses and an almost childlike grin, is immediately intrigued by the armor fragment Jake presents. The crackle of static electricity from a nearby prototype adds to the bizarre yet brilliant atmosphere. This guy probably invented the toaster oven that doubles as a laser cannon. What follows is a flurry of intense activity, a montage of engineering genius set to the rhythm of focused effort. The hiss of plasma cutters, the whine of precision lathes, and the crackle of welding arcs illuminate the workshop. Jake and Elias work in a blur, designing specialized counter-armor components, tweaking energy systems, and fabricating custom weaponry. Blueprints scroll across holographic displays with a soft whoosh, followed by the rapid thud of a 3D printer bringing the designs to life. Jake's old gear is getting a serious glow-up, transforming from standard issue to, "Oh, you want to fight? Okay, let's fight." With his new suit, all sleek lines and dark, reinforced composites, Jake hits a private testing range. The thrum of his enhanced suit's power cells is almost imperceptible. He moves with a newfound agility, the whoosh of air displacement as he performs acrobatic leaps and dodges. He unleashes a volley from his new wrist-mounted cannon, the crump of the impact reverberating through the facility. The targets, made of hardened steel, crumple like soda cans. This isn't just an upgrade. It's a complete transformation. He's no longer just Jake. He's a walking, talking, superpowered statement. I'm coming for you. Meanwhile, we get a proper introduction to our main villain, a man named Voss, who looks like he buys his suits from a villain chic catalog. He stands in a sprawling, high-tech command center, bathed in the cool hum of data servers and the soft glow of holographic displays. He's a man of stark, chilling ambition with an unblinking gaze that could curdle milk. With a curt, emotionless command, he disposes of a failing subordinate. The muffled thump of the body and the cold silence that follows speak volumes about his ruthlessness. He's not playing around. He's playing for keeps. And he's probably got a global domination plan mapped out on that giant screen. Miller, back at their makeshift command center, finally pinpoints Voss's primary base. A digital rendering of a colossal mountain fortress materializes on screen, its intricate defensive systems highlighted in glowing red. The sheer scale of it elicits a low whistle from Elias. It's nestled deep within a treacherous mountain range, cloaked by advanced stealth technology, and surrounded by layers of impenetrable defenses. This isn't just a stronghold, it's a modern-day Mordor. The clicking of Miller's keyboard as she pulls up schematics confirms their worst fears. Getting in is going to be a nightmare. Getting out alive? Well, that's just wishful thinking. The insertion is anything but gentle. Jake, now fully integrated into his new armor, leaps from a stealth aircraft high above the jagged peaks. The whoosh of rushing wind is deafening as he free-falls through the frigid mountain air, the specialized composites of his suit glowing faintly against the dark sky. Snow whips past, stinging his visor. The beep of his altimeter counts down as he deploys a specialized glide wing system, guiding him towards a small, almost undetectable thermal vent entrance. It's a bone-chilling ride, made only slightly warmer by the thought of what awaits him inside. Who needs a vacation when you have this kind of thrill? Jake lands with a barely audible thud near the thermal vent, the cold mountain air biting at his suit. He moves with silent, predatory grace, neutralizing patrols with swift, brutal takedowns. The crunch of snow under his boots is almost perfectly masked. He approaches a heavily reinforced blast door, its thick steel humming with power. With a high-pitched whine and a shower of brilliant sparks, his integrated plasma torch cuts through the metal like butter. The hiss of escaping steam and the gentle clunk of the door falling inward signal his successful breach. Welcome to the party, Voss. Inside, the fortress is a sterile, unforgiving maze of polished chrome and reinforced concrete. Jake moves like a ghost, his suit's stealth systems humming almost silently. The snap of hidden laser grids, the faint ping of motion sensors, and the soft whir of automated turrets are constant threats. He uses environmental distractions, the clatter of a strategically thrown wrench, to draw attention away, allowing him to slip past security checkpoints. The air is cold and thin, permeated by the distant hum of machinery. Every step is a calculated risk, every shadow a potential hiding spot or an ambush point. It's like a really dangerous game of hot and cold. Then, the true challenge appears. Rounding a corner, Jake comes face to face with a formidable Ares operative, clad in a full, menacing version of the stolen armor. This isn't a prototype. This is the real deal, its metallic surface gleaming with malevolent intent. The whine of its integrated heavy weaponry powering up fills the corridor, a chilling prelude to destruction. The operative stands a head taller than Jake, its optical sensors glowing an intense, focused red. The sheer power radiating from this suit is palpable, a silent challenge that makes the earlier encounter feel like a warm-up act. Ding, 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 round two! The duel is a brutal symphony of power. The crack of concussive blasts from the operative's suit rips through the hallway, tearing chunks from the reinforced walls. Jake, responding with his own upgraded weaponry, unleashes a volley of high-energy projectiles, each one impacting the Ares suit with a loud thwack, sending sparks flying. The screech of metal on metal as they grapple, the groan of their suit's servos straining, are deafening. The sheer force of their blows sends shockwaves through the very structure of the fortress. This isn't just a fight. It's two unstoppable forces meeting, and the environment is paying the price. Recognizing that brute force isn't enough, Jake, with a deft flick of a switch, activates his suit's cloaking field. With a faint shimmer, he disappears from view, leaving the Ares operative flailing, its weapons firing wildly at nothing but air. The thump, thump, thump of its heavy steps as it frantically searches is almost comical. Then, with a sudden, devastating burst, Jake reappears, unleashing a focused EMP blast. The crackle of energy and the whump of the operative's suit temporarily overloading signal a brief window of opportunity. It's like playing hide-and-seek, but with much higher stakes and way cooler toys. With the Ares suit temporarily disoriented by the EMP, Jake doesn't hesitate. He targets the exposed power conduit he identified earlier. With a powerful, calculated smash from his reinforced gauntlet, he severs the critical connection. The operative's suit screams with internal alarms, bright sparks erupting from the damaged area, followed by a sickening groan of failing systems. The red optics flicker and die, and with a final heavy thud, the armored figure collapses to the ground, an inert shell. The silence that follows is thick with the metallic tang of ozone and the subtle hiss of Jake's own cooling systems. One down, one main boss to go. Using a universal override from his own tech, Jake taps into the defeated operative's systems. What he discovers is far more sinister than a simple arms deal. A holographic map materializes, its whirring components projecting a chilling sight. Not one, but multiple active Ares suits, glowing red dots scattered across the globe. Voss isn't just selling one weapon. He's orchestrating a global network of destruction. The ping of each active suit on the map is a hammer blow, confirming the terrifying scale of the threat. This isn't just about stopping a bad guy. It's about preventing a world war, or worse, a global dictatorship. Talk about going from 0 to 100 real quick. Jake pushes onward, the urgency now a burning fire in his gut. He reaches Voss's central command, a vast chamber bathed in the cold glow of numerous displays. And there he is, Voss not just directing but wearing the ultimate prize, the Ares Prime suit. This version is even more imposing. its dark metal gleaming, its integrated weapons radiating latent power. Voss, his voice a calm, chilling monotone, delivers a global broadcast, a manifesto of his tyrannical vision. The static hum of the global feed and the click of his gloved fingers on the suit's controls amplify his detached arrogance. He thinks he's won, the smug villain. While Jake takes in the horror of Voss's broadcast, Miller isn't idle. From her remote location, she initiates a series of precisely timed explosive charges they planted earlier. The crump of explosions from the lower levels reverberates through the mountain, causing the entire fortress to shudder and groan. Alarms begin to blare, red lights flashing, momentarily distracting Voss and his guards. The rattle of falling debris from the ceiling highlights the immediate chaos. It's a classic move. Hit 'em where it hurts, and then hit 'em again when they're looking. Well played, Miller. Well played. Seizing the opportune chaos, Jake bursts through the doors of the command center. The crack of his rifle and the whoosh of his energy blasts immediately shatter the villain's monologue. Voss's elite guards, armed to the teeth, respond with a hail of fire, their bullets pinging off Jake's reinforced armor. The room erupts into a cacophony of gunfire, explosions, and the shriek of tearing metal. Jake moves with ruthless efficiency, clearing a path through the storm of lead and energy, his goal fixed solely on Voss. The clock is ticking, and the world is holding its breath. With his guards dispatched, Jake finally comes face to face with Voss, who, still calm despite the carnage, simply smirks. Then, with a sudden roar of servos, Voss in the Ares Prime suit lunges. The thud of their collision echoes like a thunderclap, sending shock waves through the command center. This isn't just a fight, it's a battle for the world, a clash of armored titans where every punch, every blast could determine humanity's fate. The metallic clang of their suits, the whoosh of their powered leaps, and the crump of their weaponry create a symphony of utter destruction. This isn't a fight, it's a spectacle, and the world is the audience. Voss, supremely confident in his superior tech, unleashes the full, terrifying might of the Ares Prime suit. A volley of plasma bolts hiss through the air, scorching the floor where Jake stood moments before. Integrated missile pods launch with a series of muffled thumps, exploding against the reinforced walls in a shower of sparks and debris. The suit's adaptive shields shimmer into existence with a soft hum, deflecting Jake's best shots with ease. Voss moves like a god of war, each movement calculated, each attack overwhelming. Jake is on the defensive, his suit taking repeated punches that shake him to his core. It's like bringing a very fancy knife to a tank fight. Jake, battered but not broken, realizes brute force won't win this. He shifts tactics. Using his enhanced speed and agility, he starts systematically targeting the room's structural supports, the crack of his energy blasts against the load-bearing columns echoing ominously. He baits Voss, leading him deeper into the compromised area, knowing Voss's arrogance will make him pursue. The groan of stressed metal and the rumble of the ceiling above grow louder. It's a desperate gamble, sacrificing the environment to gain an advantage. He's literally bringing the house down on their heads, which is one way to spice up a Monday. Jake's high-stakes gamble pays off in a spectacular fashion. With a deafening crash, the command center ceiling gives way. Tons of concrete, twisted rebar, and shattered electronics cascade downwards, filling the massive chamber with a choking cloud of dust and debris. The screech of tearing metal, the thump of falling blocks, and the whump of concussive force are overwhelming. Jake activates his suit's emergency shielding, the hum of the force field barely holding back the onslaught. When the dust begins to settle, both armored figures are buried, temporarily neutralized in the rubble. It's a messy way to reset the playing field, but effective. From the shifting piles of rubble, the Ares Prime suit bursts forth, scattering debris with a furious roar of its thrusters. Voss is no longer calm. His voice, distorted by the suit's comms, is a primal scream of pure rage. The suit, while still formidable, shows signs of stress, faint sparks emanating from damaged plating. His movements are less precise, more brutal, fueled by pure, unadulterated fury. He focuses every ounce of his suit's remaining power on Jake, no longer caring about the mission, only about vengeance. It's like when you stub your toe really hard, but with a supersuit and global implications. Jake, battered but resolute, uses Voss's rage against him. He anticipates Voss's wild, powerful strikes, dodging with desperate precision. During a brief opening, Jake utilizes the specialized EMP blast, the crackle temporarily stunning Voss. He then delivers a brutal, precise strike with his reinforced gauntlet, targeting a specific point on the Ares Prime suit he knows to be a vulnerability. The armor groans, then cracks open, revealing a pulsing, glowing internal energy core. This isn't a punch. It's a surgical strike, the culmination of years of design knowledge. One wrong move, and it's game over for everyone. With the core exposed and pulsating ominously, Jake knows this is it. He lunges, ignoring the shriek of Voss's protests and the last desperate flailing blows of the Ares Prime suit. He plunges his armored hand directly into the glowing core, his suit's internal systems screaming warnings. With a guttural grunt of effort, he tears out a vital component, its wires snapping and sparking violently. The Ares Prime suit lets out a final agonizing whine, its lights flickering and dying, its thrusters falling silent. With a heavy metallic thud, the once unstoppable armor collapses, inert and defeated. The sheer silence that follows is almost jarring after the chaos. As the dust settles, Voss is revealed, disoriented and vulnerable, slumped inside the now lifeless Ares Prime suit. His face, bruised and battered, reflects a mixture of disbelief and impotent rage. Just as Jake takes a staggering step back, the thump, thump, thump of approaching helicopters fills the air. Miller, leading a specialized extraction team, bursts into the ruined command center. Voss, now just a man in a broken suit, offers no resistance as he's apprehended, his hands cuffed with a definitive click. The grand villain, brought low, is finally off the board. It's always a good day when the bad guys get to wear bracelets. In the wake of the epic showdown, Miller's team moves with practiced efficiency. The crippled Ares Prime suit is carefully assessed, its components whirring down, the faint hiss of remaining power dissipating. Technicians, looking like surgical specialists in hazmat gear, meticulously begin the disassembly, the clink of their specialized tools echoing in the cavernous, damaged room. Each piece, even the smallest circuit, is logged and secured, destined for proper analysis and ultimate neutralization. The threat of the Ares network may be neutralized, but the dangerous tech still needs to be put in a box, tied with a bow and buried under Fort Knox. Jake, his face streaked with sweat and grime, carefully removes his helmet. He looks out at the jagged mountain peaks, bathed in the soft glow of the rising sun. The cold, crisp air feels cleansing. Miller approaches, a respectful silence hanging between them. There's no need for words, just a shared glance of understanding, of a mission accomplished against impossible odds. The whirring of transport choppers in the distance is the only sound, a stark contrast to the earlier cacophony of battle. He saved the world, or at least prevented it from getting a really bad case of global supersuititis. Not a bad day's work for an ex-grunt. Months later, the familiar rumble of Jake's motorcycle is heard once more as he rides down a winding, open road, the wind whipping past him. The world is safe, the Ares threat averted. He's back in his quiet life, but this time, there's a subtle change in his demeanor. A faint, almost imperceptible smile touches his lips. The cynical guardian may have found a renewed purpose, or at least a reason to occasionally answer the phone. The hum of his bike engine and the open road ahead offer a different kind of freedom, but with a quiet understanding that the world sometimes needs its unexpected heroes, even if they complain about it. Until next time, maybe. And just when you think it's all wrapped up, we get one last delicious tease. Back in his cluttered, brilliant workshop, Elias is seen tinkering with a new, decidedly not standard piece of tech. A mischievous grin spreads across his face, illuminated by the faint glow of the gadget. The subtle whir of newly activated components reminds us that while one battle is over, the arms race for advanced armor technology and the heroes it calls upon is a cycle that never truly ends. It's a reminder that even when the credits roll, the real questions linger. What will the next generation of armor bring, and who will be brave or foolish enough to wield it? Sometimes the most powerful weapon isn't the suit itself, but the choices we make when we wear it. It makes you think, doesn't it? Thanks for joining me on this wild ride through Armor 2024. What did you guys think of Jake's journey from cynical recluse to reluctant savior? Let me know in the comments below.